and then I'll write it. And I was like, and dying means that, you know, their body and
I decided I am going to film the next couple of days because they're going to be fun and they're going to be quite busy. So today I been up since 6:30, as you just saw there, jumped on a call with my own coach and got a group call with my own clients at 10 a.m. And then over the next 2 days, and this is why I wanted to film, two of my clients who have jumped up to one-to-one are coming down to Manchester to meet me for in-person deep dive days. So today we've got Jona, who is come over from, flown over all the way from Finland. And then tomorrow we have Jack, who's travelled up to Manchester from down south. But we've been able to time it perfectly. So tonight we're going to go for a meal together, all of us. It's going to be really fun. I wanted to take you along for the ride because I think it will be a pretty fun 2 or 3 days, a pretty busy 2 or 3 days in there as well on Friday. It's Thursday today. Tomorrow I've got a workshop with over 200 people opted in. At least there won't be 200 people attending because there never is. These are free leads, so they never all show up. But 200 people opted in. So a lot is happening over the next couple of days. So I thought I'd take you along. What is everybody? Any wins going on? Anyone got any wins or insights to share before we kick off?
Last week we had our one-to-one and we were talking about the lack of calls getting booked, and now suddenly there's an influx of calls, and now it's like, cool, the next problem is actually closing them, and there should always bottlenecks to be solved. It's just simply the flow of business.
Yeah, it's just the game.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, but it's good, man. Like, the calls are getting booked now.
It's always the same, guys. Like, you know, it's something we go back to all of the time, but specificity sells every single time. When you can, and that comes from who you're speaking to, how you're solving their problem, because obviously we want our solution to be something that's unique to that person. But then at the same time, it's also specificity in, and I think this was Jake's shift that he made in this email, specificity to the examples that we use and how specific we go with like the exact thing that they're experiencing at that moment. Because as we've been talking about quite a bit, there's different levels of awareness in the market, and most people are going to be pain aware, or as some people would say, unaware, right? Which is they know they're in pain, but they have no idea kind of what the actual problem is. So they can never find what the solution is. So they're never really going to take action at that point. And for that part of the market, the most important thing to actually draw their attention is being able to speak about things that are already happening in their world. Being able to simplify the message down to like, this is happening in your world. And they're like, yeah, it is, because there's no other way to say it. It just is happening because it's a really specific, real life thing that you're explaining. It's not abstract. It's nothing like that. It's real life. And then being able to say, by the way, that's happening because of this problem, and being able to shift their belief and showing them this is the real thing that's causing it. And then, of course, when your ladder is created, so you're understanding each level of indoctrination, every time that they kind of buy into that new belief, they're closer to buying from you and further away from buying from someone else.
No niin, nyt on tällainen hieno room. Inside. Yes.
I understood that bit.
Yeah. Sell them many times in a different way, but they're like him. Then he said no, like no or maybe. Then I said.
Always need to think, and you've heard this before, definitely, but like when we solve one problem, we need to kind of create a new problem for them. Not in a bad way. It's just like it's not even create a problem. It's make them aware of the next problem. Yes, just on a little break. We've been probably locked in for the last 3 hours 15 or so, getting stuck in. Here's Jona, my client. Hello. Flew over from Finland. How's things going? I put you on the spot.
Pretty gay. No. You gotta cut that out. Excellent. Getting so many ideas. We're having fun at least.
We're having fun. I don't know what else to say now.
Yeah. Sorry, I ruined it.
Yeah, something good's coming though for Jona. We've been building out some working on the big idea, working on the uniqueness of the offer, and yeah, it's been pretty fun. You probably can't hear me much because of the wind. Anyway, you'll probably see us back inside. Whatever this is going to be, right? So it's like, okay, if they're now problem aware, it's going to be selling them the thing that they need to solve that problem. It's going to be the first low ticket product that we can easily create as a micro offer that will work really well because you've just brought in like a big amount of leads. And then we can turn that into the low ticket funnel as well. Four-hour in-person deep dive complete there with Yona. Actually ended up being 5, and it was really, really cool. So we've been growing really, really well together. He's been getting some really good success. But the thing that I've identified at this point was the one thing that he really, really needs to grow even more, basically, is his messaging. Because for every niche, especially business coaching, which is what he's in, having something different about you, having a different kind of vision that you can get people bought into, more than just kind of, make more money, or if it's fitness, lose weight, or whatever else it might be. Having a vision that people can buy into, that you've created this vision, you've created the pathway to get there, which is, a different kind of business or something like that, right? Like the kind of business that he's helping people build, and for who that actually is, and why this is the best business for them. Because that's the thing, right? We're always looking to create a unique methodology of being able to get somewhere, or a unique way to get the result. But the reality is, we're never going to come up with the best way for everyone ever. That's just not going to happen. But what we can do is come up with the best way ever for a certain subsection of people that best way ever kind of resonates with, right? And that's exactly what we did. We went super deep, and then just at the end there, we created a paid traffic kind of system to be able to drive a lot of people to this big idea. Because when I'm working with people on this, the thing that we're focusing on is, cool, what is this big idea, right? And then there's lots of other things off of that, and it's always built around their philosophy. So we created the paid traffic strategy to be able to drive a lot of people to this big idea straight away, get talking to people, and see how it's really hitting. Because the first step is creating that big idea, right? And then it's kind of iterating as we go forwards. Anyway, I've got 1 hour now. Get back to some other clients, and just realized as well, obviously I've got this workshop tomorrow, and there's 200 people opting in. I don't know how many people are actually going to show up, but I realized that I haven't sent them reminder messages to actually show up. So this is what I'm just doing here quickly, setting up these reminding messages just to make sure that people actually come. And then in now 40 minutes, I'm going to go down for a steak with Yona, and then also Jack, who I'm having a in-person deep dive with tomorrow. So I'll see you there.
It's like the word I would use is universal. It's universal in terms of I've got a group. And so
I'm just thinking YouTube right now. The YouTube video. Yes, come on.
flexible steaks. Let's fucking go. And the right perspective.
That's all good. We're just... Yes. The aligned steak has been eaten. Potentially the aligned cigar next.
Yeah. The aligned beers, the aligned champagne. That's all right.
Yeah.
So it is slightly on the longer side when you're doing cookies.
Yeah.
Can you check that for you? I'm feeling that this was actually a little bit more expensive than that one. Yeah, potentially.
Fear-based perspective of like what people might think, what they don't like, how it is, and I'm just like, if you just literally looked at social media as leverage, it's like.
So potentially the biggest workshop I have ever run is about to go down. Here's the setup, nice and simple. Chose to do standing today. I'm about to click join and see how many people are coming through. It's filled up with, there's 200 people opted in, or just over that. And a lot of people are from ads. So they might not show up, but I've just clicked it now, and we've got 11 people already on the dot, so it's probably gonna, 12, it's probably gonna be quite a lot of people. 13, what's that? Yeah. Okay, biggest workshop ever. 16 now, let's go.
Recording in progress.
Yes, guys, how's it going? Yes, Rich, good to see you, bro. Yeah, guys, drop in the chat. What made you want to come today? You know, especially if you're a non-client, what made you want to come today? What are you hoping to kind of get out of things? And yeah, I can make sure to drive things in that direction. Bilal, good to see you, bro. Jack's in bed. I'm meeting Jack today for a 4-hour deep dive, so that's okay. Rest up. I'm making my own rules. So, workshop is complete. I definitely did not need to increase the capacity of Zoom from 100 people to more. There was a lot of people on there, and a lot of people coming in and out the entire workshop, the entire 2-hour workshop for some reason. But yeah, it wasn't a huge amount. It was a lot, but not a huge amount. But it was fun though. It was fun. Now I have like 1 hour until the in-person deep dive with Jack. So quick coffee. And this is always the best, for me at least, the best little recovery activity. Have a coffee, lay on the sofa and have a read. Today's book, I know it looks like a comic book, Paracel Universe by Ben Settle. Ben Settle was a really interesting and good copywriter and marketer. I love his business model. He just kind of sells books for really, really expensive, and he's really good at what he does. Fun fact, this book costs $1,100. I'm a subscriber of his newsletter, so I get it for half price, which was $550. Still quite a lot for a book, but I like it. Cool, gonna have a little read, and then it's deep dive time. In-person deep dive day part 2 about to go down with Big Jack, traveling up from
Essex.
Essex.
Near London. I tell everyone it's London because it sounds better than Essex.
Close enough. But yeah, we're about to lock in for the next 4 hours after our little warm-up walk. We're about to kick off. And fun story with Jack, because we've worked together for years now. Like years. 2 years at least, right? Yeah. More than that actually, because Jack joined the program, or a program, before it was even strictly business coaching. It was actually when it was in its kind of phase, when it was a little bit vague and all over the place. And Jack, funnily enough, was building his business on the side of a part-time job, and joined for more time. And we had a few conversations, a few coaching sessions, and pretty much on the first call, I identified that he probably just needs to leave his job. Like, he was making enough money, he was in a position to do so. It was just kind of fear. 2 calls down, and you left the job eventually.
Quit the job.
Yeah. And now, 2 years later, he's here working together one-on-one, and he is now making back-to-back 10K months, and we're about to lock in and take it to the moon, hopefully 20K months in 2026.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
For no one-to-one WhatsApp and no one-to-one.
Basically, we need to think about what we're trying to do with this tier.
Yeah.
If we're trying to have it like another money-making tier as it is, then of course, it's going to be a really big low drop. But if we're thinking about it as literally like a stupidly no-brainer that people kind of will just stay in, especially relative to the other prices, they're just going to stay in because it's like not that much until they need more. The perfect platform to be able to upsell people. And this is just a tiny little extra thing to add on. And by the way, when we talk about lifetime value, which is what started this conversation, it's not retention, right? Like, lifetime value isn't retention. It's how much can we, from that moment that they sign up, how much more can we make from them? So this increases lifetime value because it keeps them in your world to sell more things to over time. And you might even find other things that you can sell them as well, other than all of these kind of 5 things that we've written down.
Making me think,
To be honest, when we then eventually, also pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, they're not far.
So I'm just thinking. We are done. 4 hours, and we actually finished perfectly on time today.
On time.
Yeah, 4 hours done. How you feeling?
A lot of information, but no, good,
Yeah.
clearer for sure. And with clarity, I think comes more confidence in what you're doing, and almost like an element of excitement as well. Which again, because I'm pretty sure I said that before we actually dived in on this last little snippet.
Yeah.
Excitement and actually things to work on now. Taking my time with it, but building something that's great and aligned and enjoyable, not just trying to make the next pound. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is what I always want from these deep dives, and we've got this space. Is it's not just tactical or do this little post or anything. It's like real paradigm shifting. Kind of creating this big idea, this movement, this everything. And you said something that was really, really cool in today's session. Unprompted, you said, it feels like we're creating the iPhone.
yeah. Actually, just like we're building something almost physical. That it's not very, before I came, it was almost like I had all of these thoughts, but they were just all jumbled up here. And almost like kind of collected them into this nice little package, which is hopefully going to be built out so it's clearer, more efficient, sharper, stronger. So,
boom.
The reference to the iPhone made sense.
Yeah, I love it. Cool. Little YouTube video. Little break. The day is finally done. So looking bulky, bro. So come downstairs to have a little bit of a sauna and a recovery, which is the best place for me to recover. So the 2 very, very busy days are over. If you couldn't tell from the clips, they were very busy days. The with work around the having to do work around the in-person deep dives. In-person deep dives being 4 hours or 4 to 5 hours straight, and then the workshop and everything else, and then just normal work. There was a lot to do, but we've made it to Saturday, and now I can take today a little bit easier. Just walking to the gym now, little leg session. I'm actually feeling a little bit ill from all the work, I think, like a little bit run down, so easy gym session. And then, what I love to do on a Saturday, get some sort of training in. It's usually kickboxing, but I don't want to make myself any worse with like an intense session. And then, go and do some writing in a coffee shop. Writing, for me, is the best way to think, the best way to clarify my thoughts and ideas. I think there's a saying, using the hands to untangle the thoughts is writing, and that's exactly what I love to do on a Saturday. And what always happens for me is when I spend time with clients, going deeper with clients and helping them implement the ideas, such as I have done for the last 2 days, and we're sitting there going into these ideas I created or I worked on. You start to learn more about your own ideas, because when you're just kind of putting them together and putting them out there, you learn some stuff, but then when you're actually sitting there with someone and you're both kind of thinking about that idea together, you learn so much more. And honestly, it's hard to even put into words just how clarifying those last 2 deep dives were for me. Both of those clients I've worked with for Yona for 6 months, Jack for 2 years. So it's not like these ideas were new to them. And I have understood so much more about my own ideas, where I've been making them overcomplicated or not refined enough, where I may have been saying stuff trying to make it easier, but actually, making it harder for people, and where I can really simplify things down so they're easier to use and more effective. So what I'm excited to do is, after this training session, go to a coffee shop, get a nice coffee, and just write about that idea, about like, what does this mean for my ideas? How can I clarify them? How can I make them simpler and everything else? And this is the kind of shit I love, just like every single day and week, working on these ideas, clarifying them, making them better. So anyway, I don't know when I'll pick this up, but I'll see you then.
Maybe we'll go back up to London then. Oh, that's why I just waved at her then accidentally.
Yeah. Lovely, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's what we said to you.
Yeah. I don't know, you would sell it.
Right. This is just a little clip. Right. What should we say?
Hi guys. We're eating a croissant on our way to, what's it called? Chatsworth House.
Chatsworth
House.
Chatsworth, guys.
Chatsworth. All right. Sunday, the day where I'm trying not to work and actually recover. We're on the way to Chatsworth House for a little Christmas thing. Trying to not work the entire day other than a little bit of writing in the morning. And we've got this this naughty croissant, which was actually £8 fucking pounds.
It was £8.
So there you go, a little Christmas day.
Just on the border. So it's not it's just on the border. Oh, right, yeah. That was cool. Yeah, so we used to...
So Monday, well, I was about to say Monday morning, but it's not Monday morning anymore. The busyness has continued. So I think you probably saw yesterday. Took the full day off yesterday. Got Christmassy with it for the first time of the year, and went to some sort of Christmas thing. Had some time away from things. Now it's Monday. It's just about to be 2 p.m. and I've been locked in here at the home office since 8:30. A lot of writing, planning out the Black Friday campaign, and then once that was done and the first email was sent, I've actually, because I've been, as you've seen, I've been very, very busy, so I'm only just being able to get around to this now. Let me turn you around a sec. Whoop. Been preparing the actual Black Friday offer. So this is very ugly. My sales pages are very ugly. Just says what you need to say. This is for the next 5 days. Let me turn you around again. For the next 5 days, running a Black Friday offer I'm calling the Full Stack, giving away a huge amount of my actual course and the content within it for £150, and it really should be valued at 1,500, so a huge saving on that. Running this for the rest of the week, and then the week after, not sure if I should be saying this because it depends when I upload this, but the week after, the second phase of the Black Friday offer is going to go out, which is a offer to actually work with me directly to install the idea-driven business, install and work on the things that I'm kind of selling here. The idea is lots of people are going to grab this because they want it anyway, but many people are going to grab this because they like the ideas. And then I'll be taking those people, making them the offer to work with me directly to actually install it. So each offer is kind of working towards the next. Anyway, I wasn't able to actually launch today because everything's been so busy. So a little bit of a pre-launch today, getting everything ready, preparing the actual product and getting everything sorted. So then it can be launched tomorrow until Sunday. That's the job. It's now Wednesday morning and the mad rush of everything that's been in this video has come to an end. So you saw it yesterday. No, you saw it on Monday when I was just getting that sales page for the Black Friday micro offer that I'm doing up and running. Launched it yesterday. Yesterday was getting that out there, preparing the campaign for that, and then setting up the ad for it as well around, actually coaching clients and everything else. Today, just spent the morning writing my marketing, my emails for the offer, and the rest of the day is pretty free actually. It's been so busy that I haven't planned the week, which is very, very rare for me. So I'll plan the week and probably find something for myself to do. But Tuesdays and Thursdays are the main coaching days that I do, where I take calls and everything else. So it's actually a surprisingly relaxing day today. Black Friday micro offer is doing well. 6 people so far bought yesterday, and well, maybe 1 or 2 was this morning. And as any good marketer does, the offer itself is not the only thing that we sell. And as soon as they buy that, they are invited to an upsell to work with me personally to actually install the thing. 1 person has gone for that so far. And then next week, I'll be running that 1-to-1 offer publicly. And that's pretty much the end of the Black Friday offers, the end of the overall push, and maybe even one of the last offers that I'll be making this year. And then I'll probably be taking a step back and really, really building out some things inside the business as well. Yesterday as well, I also made a internal offer to my clients. If they want to lock in for the rest of the year, get a discount and some tasty bonuses as well. So it's been some Black Friday fun. But I think I will end the video here. I have no idea what you're actually going to see in this video because, like I said, probably at the start, I'm not a vlogger. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how people do this. I can never be bothered to set the camera up and walk past it and stuff like that. And I'll never be doing that kind of stuff till I got a videographer following me around. So I'm not sure what's actually going to go in this and what's not, but I'm going to finish here. I think this feels like a good time to finish it, but I'm going to finish with, to make this worth your while of actually having watched, I'm going to finish with 3 of the main teaching points that came out of the in-person days that this vlog was kind of all around, to make it worth your time. I wanted to share with you the 3 top things that came out of these for my clients that I think is going to really, really help you as well with your coaching business, be able to actually grow it. Now, I'm going to try not to go too in detail on any of these things because otherwise this is going to end up its whole own video. But number 1, I've written it down here, even though it's 3 things and I'll easily remember them. But number 1 is having a core philosophy. So right now, and it's probably never going to change again, inside, in the coaching space, it is a who market. People buy from people more than ever. This has always, slightly been the case. People are always going to buy from people that they resonate with, they like, and that stand out. But now more than ever, the brand is the thing that drives everything. And that's because AI coming in and being more prevalent is making knowledge, or should I say information, it's slowly but surely bringing the value of information down to pretty much 0. Information alone, someone having information that you don't have, has become less and less valuable because people can get information everywhere and the free line is moving. And I'm sure you've seen this yourself, right? 3 years ago, the things that people would have charged for versus given away for free, the free line over the last 3 years and all of the other years, right? But over the last, let's say 3 years, that free line has shifted. So things that they would have given away, charged 5K for, is sometimes being given away for £5 now, or sometimes being given away for absolutely free. So the free line shifted. AI is making information worthless almost. And the more that come into the market and the more that are just kind of using this AI and throwing out more and more information, the less valuable information alone is, right? So this all creates a who market. It creates a market where it is the person that they resonate with and the person that has the status a lot of the time, the person that stands out in the market is the person that wins. And the best way to stand out in an industry is to have a core philosophy that you truly believe. We don't just come up with this because it's a business move, right? You want to truly believe it. And we come up with this core philosophy that goes against the grain of the rest of the market, the rest of the industry, and the rest of what people are seeing. It goes against the grain, or maybe it's just kind of 1 degree difference, but it sets you apart. Then we take this core philosophy and we make it weave through everything, through your offers, through your program, through everything. So it's not just a marketing thing, but it goes through everything in your business. Now, the problem with a lot of coaches is mostly they have no core philosophies, right? They just kind of put on this uniform of whatever niche they're in, fitness coach, mindset coach, business coach, whatever it is, they kind of put on this uniform and they kind of do business coach things or fitness coach things or mindset coach things, right? But they never think, they just do the service. But they never ask themselves, what do I actually believe about this work? And often it's even, what do I believe about life in general as well? It all just comes from your truth and your philosophies. Most never think that. So they just post tips and they kind of just get forgotten about. On the other hand, there are some others, and if anything, I'm at risk of falling into this category a lot of the time, is they have too many philosophies and too many ideas. Right? Which is fine to have, but we always have to have a core, because if you have too many philosophies and too many ideas and you're constantly throwing out different ideas, different philosophies and stuff, you will never be known for one thing, right? So a huge part with both of my clients' in-person days that we had, a huge part of this was identifying their core philosophy, identifying what they truly believe to be true that goes against the grain, and then once we identified that and fleshed it out, we then built everything else around that. And I want to give you an example. This was not an example from my clients. This is not an example from any of my clients. But I want to give you an example, quite an extreme one, that can show how this works, right? Imagine if you were a fitness coach or you knew a fitness coach and his core or her core philosophy was all you need to get in shape is to walk. Right? That was his core philosophy, and he truly believed that. I wouldn't believe that. I would never run that as my branding, right? But someone would. You only need to walk. And he becomes the steps guy. This is the thing with these core philosophies, right? You become the something guy or the something girl, right? They know you for something. He would become the steps guy. He has all these different mechanisms and ways to get the steps in and to fit them into life. And that is a core philosophy that some will love and some will absolutely hate. Some will agree with, some will not agree with, but it will get him his cult-like following who, if he's standing on it strong enough, and he's not just being a general coach, but he's standing for this core philosophy, it will have you standing out in a crowded marketplace and be slowly but surely building this tribe of true fans that really buy into the philosophy. If you look at any big brands, this is kind of how they stand out. So number one is the core philosophy, and each of these kind of go into each other. Again, I'm going to try not to go too in depth because otherwise this becomes this whole own video. The second thing that we really, really focused on, and this was sequential, right? This was sequential from the core philosophy. We took the core philosophy and their other kind of philosophies that they believe. We took that core one, we kind of built around that. What's the big idea around this? How can we make this understandable to other people? Number two was then understanding the levels of awareness, right? So most coaches get this totally wrong because there are multiple levels of market awareness. The ones that we really need to kind of think about when it comes to this are unaware / pain aware. I call them pain aware because they are going to be aware of some sort of pain. If they're not, then there's no point really speaking to them. There are going to be a section of your market that are pain aware. There are going to be a section of that market that are also problem aware, meaning they're in pain, but they also know what the problem is. Then there's going to be a small section of the market that are solution aware. They're in pain, they know what the problem is, and they know what they need to do to fix it, right? The problem with coaches a lot of the time in their marketing is they only ever speak to problem aware or solution aware people. And the reality with markets is the problem aware and especially the solution aware are the smallest segment of the market. Most people are pain aware. The problem with pain aware people is their field of view for what might solve this pain is so wide. So we need to think about educating these people. We need to think about taking pain aware people, right? Making them aware of the problem that is keeping them in that pain. Bonus points if being able to give them that level of awareness actually gives them hope as well, because they're like, oh, I've been looking in the wrong place all along. And then we need to then show them what the actual solution is. And the solution is something that you've come up with and you've created. Like I said, most coaches only ever speak to the problem and the pain aware people. So one of the really big things that we spent time focusing on together with my clients was taking this core philosophy, building it into a brand, and then understanding the market message for each level of awareness. So we could speak to the pain aware people and make them aware of what the problem is that's holding them in this pain. And then we could speak to the problem aware people and make them aware of what the solution is to get over this problem, right? So we broke it down so we have different marketing messages. We also, I won't go too in depth into this, but then we took that and we turned it into an actual paid traffic system, right? So we've got something that's going to be able to bring in a huge amount of pain aware people and make them solution aware. We've got products being sent to these people via ads that are then able to take these problem aware people that are going to be prepared to pay something and sell them on a micro offer, which creates consumption. And then, now they're very, very solution aware. And then the next part is just making them aware of your product and making the sell. The third thing that we then did, and this is something that I would suggest to any coach. Most coaches really, really shoot themselves in the foot and end up feeling hopeless a lot of the time, or helpless in their marketing and trying to get leads and clients and everything else, because they've only got one core offer and they only sell it in the same way. And just like the levels of awareness, the people inside your audience that are going to be prepared to buy, your big, expensive, long core offer, the percentage of your audience that are going to actually be ready to buy that in any given month, any given year, is a tiny percentage. It's the smallest percentage, right? So when you're told one offer, one program, one price point, all of this kind of stuff, and you're sticking to that religiously, you experience a lot of what do they call it? Feast and famine cycles. You experience a lot of revenue roller coaster of going up, going down, and everything else, and you experience a huge amount of helplessness because you're just there trying to sell this big thing, and there's going to be periods where no one wants it. So the thing that we worked on, once everything else was kind of put in place, the thing that we worked on with clients, and the thing that I work on with all clients, is an offer stack, right? Again, just like the levels of awareness, and there's also going to be levels of readiness, there are not going to, there's going to be a tinier percentage of people that are going to be willing to buy your big, expensive program, but there are going to be way more that are ready to buy a small £50 thing. And there are going to be less than that, but still way more than the big thing, that are willing to pay for a 6-week or 8-week sprint offer to solve one problem with you, right? So we create that as a stack. We start with the big multi-tier offer where, it's going to be the expensive stuff, it's going to be the long-term stuff, and then we break the first part of that out and we create the sprint offer. 6 to 8 week process where they work with you to focus on solving the first problem as a specific process, because this is something that's happening in the market right now. Programs are dying and processes are winning. In any niche, when you can take them through a specific process that gets something done very, very clearly, that's why people buy. Then the final thing that we focused on is their micro offer right at the start. So then once people are becoming aware of this message, what's the little £50 thing that they can purchase from you to start consuming your stuff? And consumption creates conversions. To start consuming your stuff and start to realize that you're the real deal, and actually still indoctrinate them to your way of thinking. And then from there, once they've gotten that and you can have a conversation with them, see how they've been finding it, you then sell them onto your sprint offer. 6 to 8 week process. that solves one specific problem. And then after that sprint offer, they're now going to be a really perfect client. They are going to know how everything works, and they're going to have a longer term goal now because you've got them out of kind of their struggling phase, and now they're able to look long term. Then you can sell them into your longer term program, which is the multi-tier offer, which can be sold, you know, at a lower price, lower tier, higher tier, or really, really high tier. So we kind of created all of this, and it all stemmed from the core philosophy. So that's kind of the teaching point for today's video, because I cannot just do a video where it's just following me around and there's nothing useful in it. I hope this video was useful. See you later.